going on, guys? It's Tuesday. It's really early in the evening for some reason, but hey, I figured why not go ahead and get this over with because it's been a long day, and the longer I stay awake, the more awkward these will get. So I figured why not just go ahead and go live at 5:30 Eastern and see what happens and who turns up. We actually have two people hanging out in the chat. We got Comment Man Andy. What's going on, Andy? And then we got Bad News Chris Barrett. How you doing, Barrett? Nice to see you again. We got some reads, we got some toys, we got more toys, and we got some claim sale hype, basically, / auction hype. So I guess I'll go ahead and just get into that now. Let's see what we got here in the pictures. Of course, I should have had this queued up and ready to go, but we have a professional rig going on here. All right, so I'll throw up this image. Here's kind of the claim sale hype on how much stuff I'm looking to move. So this is basically like a full 5 to 6 foot table here. And I've started to price some of the stuff. So basically the 2 boxes in the back left, those are all dollar books I'm putting together. I'm probably going to add a little bit more of that black box in the back. And then the front box is mostly $2 and $3 books. The one with all that Mirage Turtles, the first run Turtles, that is all $5. I have a ton of first run Turtles I need to get rid of because I keep accumulating doubles I don't need, and I need to use those doubles to get the ones I don't have. So if you guys are looking for any Mirage Turtles, look up your numbers you need because I may have some for you. And then I got mostly $10 books on right, but there are a few larger price books I may be saving for an auction or two down the line. So we're planning probably to do this on the Comic Core channel on the 20th of this month. I believe that's a Saturday. So I suppose mark your calendars now. Hopefully the stars will align and we'll be able to do a all-day auction claim sale that day. So there's kind of a little bit of hype for you. So I guess if there's anything you're looking for specifically, let me know because I may have it. Unless it's really old, then I don't have any of that Golden Age stuff, so don't ask. But let's get into what I've been reading lately. Basically, this is what I've read finally on the side. I finally had a chance to sit down and read the entire Mirage City at War. If you guys pay attention to this channel, you probably heard me talk end on end about City at War and the IDW run and that stuff. Well, of course, it's all based on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issues number 50 through 62, the 13-part City at War run. And I finally got a chance to take these books out and see what this was all about. And I was really happy with the read on this, basically. It's not so much a turtle story even. It's almost more of a story of Casey Jones and April finding themselves and finding their way away from New York and back to New York to the Turtles. Meanwhile, you have the Turtles just trying to survive all of this random violence that's happening in New York, surrounding, Shredder not being a part of the Foot Clan because he's dead. And then the Tokyo contingent of the Foot Clan being ran by his granddaughter in this book, Karai. She has to come over from Japan and barter this peace, and she wants to use the Ninja Turtles to do so. Because I think technically Leonardo was the one who dealt the death blow to Shredder. So you have all of these privately trained Shredder ninjas basically wanting to come after Leonardo and the other turtles. Like they just see a turtle, but specifically they're looking for Leonardo. So like these privately trained ninjas, they actually dress kind of like the Shredder. They have like a different little hat on. They don't have like the cool Shredder helm on. But they at least have his face mask and stuff. So you kind of know these ninjas from the other Foot Clan members. And basically, Karai has to barter that peace. Be like, hey, if you work with my contingent of the Foot Clan to defeat these evil Shredder Foot Clan members, you leave us alone. You're good. We'll leave you alone. We will not come after you. And basically, the Turtles have no choice but to agree because it'll put the end to the random violence in New York. It'll get heat off of them big time, and basically Splinter can come back, and Splinter meanwhile is on this complete trying to find himself too. I need to read back a little bit further because there's something going on with Splinter. He's on this soul mission or something, and it gets weird, especially Rat King gets involved. If you guys have read the IDW run, you know how weird it is when the Rat King gets involved. He is just as weird in the Mirage stuff, I'm finding out. So really enjoyed this book. If you guys like the IDW stuff, and if you guys are reading Last Ronin, which obviously there's only one issue so far and had a lot of questions in it, I think for me, this answered a lot of those questions already, if indeed it does take place right after this continuity, especially like who is Casey Jones's maybe daughter. That is pretty much answered in this, if that character is going to be turning out the same character. So this is probably a must read for Last Ronin fans, in my opinion. But yeah, a lot of good stuff here. Let me say hi to the Comic Collector. He says, "What's up? How's it going, man? Thanks for hopping in the chat." Chris Barrett says, "Is that non-priced box all big books?" Some yes, some of them are going to be bundles, Chris. So I've got some bundles put together. I might have one big book combined with a couple others in that same run. At some point, I'm probably just going to do like a full preview video down the line. But yeah, this is awesome. I highly recommend it for Turtles fans. Speaking of, it's going to be a turtle heavy haul. If you haven't guessed on this channel, most of these hauls from here on out are probably going to be turtle heavy, just because that's really how I'm leaning toward lately, collecting wise. I've been getting these best of TMNT books. I really enjoy the covers on them. I think it's going to be a cool set. Michelangelo is still to come. I think he's going to come out either this month or the next. But these are actually really cool. People frown upon these because they have that $5.99 price tag, but you actually get almost an entire trade's worth of content in each of these best of. So you get all of the Leonardo micro series in this one from the Mirage line all the way up until the IDW stuff. So you actually get like I said, an entire trade's worth for $6 for each of these. So these are pretty cool. I'm still not a fan of this book. TMNT Jenica #2. I still have to go pick up my copy of issue 4. They didn't have it available last week. It did not ship in time to get there on Wednesday. So I'm probably just going to pick that up tomorrow with my pulls for tomorrow. But I can't say I was wanting to drive to the shop just for Jenica 2. Because, like I said, so far I'm just not into the story, especially the art in this. But I think at least there's a different artist in the following issue. Friday Night Live show. Hey, guys, I'm online. If anyone's in the Comic Core, tell them just to hop on my chat here. So, all right. We also have TMNT issue 113. I actually have both copies or both covers for this. People are going crazy over this one because it is first full Toka and Razor, whatever that means, even though this is the book you probably want because they appear at the end of this as well. So I got issue 111. This is the A cover. So if you're looking to get those Toka and Razor appearances, this is, I guess, first full, and they're in the last page of this for sure. But I guess to go into the story of what happened in this book, they're still holding elections in Mutant Town, and Sally, one of their friends, is running for the mayor of Mutant Town, basically, which she's probably going to win, I guess, in the world of kayfabe turtles. Meanwhile, you finally have Lita, future Lita, that is, use the Time Scepter to come back in time to stop Jenica from killing Karai, basically. So she has to convince the 4 turtle brothers to rein in Jenica from going across the line, basically. So that's kind of a nice little wrinkle on top of Jenica's ongoing story. And then, yeah, Toka and Razor are just there causing chaos, basically. Karai wanted to get them from Old Hob to help fight the Turtles and other threats because, obviously, after City War, the Foot Clan's pretty beat up on, obviously, so they need some muscle. They went for Toka and Razor, and they're looking for Mama, basically. So, obviously, Mama is Shredder from the movies, I'm guessing. So they end up blowing up a helicopter that Karai is in. We'll see what happens to her. Hopefully, I think tomorrow is the next issue, so I'm really looking forward to that. Still my favorite ongoing by far, if you couldn't guess. Getting the Future State stuff still. Here's Shazam #1 Future State. Basically, the most interesting thing that happens in this is the devil dude from Underworld Unleashed back in the late 90s. He is basically using Billy Batson as the guardian of the gate to hell. So actually, he has been separated from Shazam. So Shazam is his own entity now on the Justice League, and you can just tell by his demeanor, he's a little bit darker in character than Billy Batson would be. So now it kind of gets interesting that we basically have 2 different characters instead of one, more or less as Shazam. So can't wait to read the second issue. It's actually in the world of future state titles. This one is not too bad. So if you guys looking for a future state to read, so far Shazam isn't too bad. I also have this Octobriana. So if you guys watch the Cartoonist Kayfabe channel, I think it's Jim Rugg. This is his book. He was doing a Kickstarter on this, and the store I went to visit a couple weeks ago actually had copies on the shelf of this, so I decided to get one. It's actually pretty cool. The ink that is used in this comic is sensitive to black lights. So apparently if you read this under a black light, it'll glow. It'll look great. So I might have to go get a black light bulb so I can read this book now. And then I have Strange Adventures number 8. Stuff's starting to finally get real in this book. The clip, tip, whatever the alien species in Strange Adventures is called, they're going after a full invasion of Earth. And Adam Strange has pretty much been telling them this whole time in this book, you know, you guys are great, you're fighting evil and that stuff, but you're not ready for this invasion. No matter how powerful you think you are, how smart Batman is, or how powerful Superman is, you're not going to be able to fight this invasion. And when that happens, Adam Strange is unfortunately right. They pretty much just wipe Arizona off the map. They send Flash there just to count dead bodies, basically. And they finally, like, at least Mr. Terrific and Batman are trying to get to the bottom of why are these aliens invading. And the one they're interrogating finally just mutters, because he doesn't speak English because he's an alien. He just finally utters something like Adam Strange. So the only reason they're destroying Earth is because of Adam Strange. So I wasn't too crazy about issues like 5, 6, and 7, but issue 8 has reined me back into the series officially. So probably my favorite thing from DC right now is Strange Adventures. And then this stack, I got Wonder Woman, the Immortal Wonder Woman. Once again, kind of with these Wonder Woman books in Future State, the story is just, it's unfortunately not great. The only thing I can really remember and tell you about this is she goes and gets, Batman's belt. She wants these mementos of her friends, and as you can see on her neck, she's got a little chunk of kryptonite, even though Superman is actually fighting Darkseid at the end of this, and that's kind of the cliffhanger of just Darkseid whipping up on Superman, and Wonder Woman has to come to the rescue basically because she's an Amazon immortal, whereas her friends are not immortal. So that kind of adds an interesting type of character to Wonder Woman, but at the same time, it's just a little bit more. However, you get Jim Bartel art in this, and it's absolutely beautiful. Just like the other Wonder Woman book I'll talk about here in a second. The art in these Wonder Woman books is great. They need some help with the story, though. It is what it is. All right. And then that's not all, because I got some more. Like I said, I got a couple weeks worth here. Decided to pick up the Last Ronin third print. In my opinion, the best Last Ronin cover I have seen. The only other one I wouldn't mind having, of course, it's like the most expensive one, is what was supposed to be the New York Comic-Con variant. It's also a Kevin Eastman cover. But I actually kind of like this one a little bit better, and it's still pretty well available for cover price out there, just like the black and white Kevin Eastman motif there. But yeah, definitely my favorite cover of the whole bunch. Like I said, a lot of these variants that have been out there, haven't been a huge fan of, honestly. It's great if you are, but my other favorite that I actually have is right behind me there, the 1 in 10 Kevin Eastman. Had to actually make an hour trip to another store just to make sure I secured that. I've already pre-ordered the other 1 in 10 coming out. That is maybe the best cover in the whole line if you guys hadn't seen it. My pick of the week last week had to be the conclusion of Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. This book has actually surprised me of how fun it is. If you guys like the Connor and Palmiotti Harley Quinn, this is a direct sequel to when they stepped off of the book. Plus, they have, since it's Black Label, they have absolutely no filter besides, hey, you can't have Harley naked, basically. So when she goes to purgatory, which she does in this book, you have to cover her in clouds, and she's even going to acknowledge the fact that she doesn't want to wear clouds. She wants to be naked, but DC's making her wear clouds. So they just destroy the fourth wall many a time between Harley and purgatory. And then Red Tool's in it is that Deadpool ripoff. He's going to break the fourth wall. But Amanda Connor does the art from cover to cover as well. So any Harley Quinn, Amanda Connor, Palmiotti fan, you need to read this at some point. It is top-notch stuff for sure. I absolutely love this book. I may actually get the hardcover at some point too. I liked it so much. So I think it's going to end up being one of those underappreciated Black Label books because it just got caught and all of this flood of Batman and Harley, Joker, Black Label stuff. So I'd say for me, this is the strongest Black Label title for sure. Well, I went to Half Price Books, got this bad boy for $29.99. Actually, I got a 10% coupon on top of that, but it's Absolute Superman 4 tomorrow, so you usually can't get these Absolute editions for like less than $50 new. So this one actually came still sealed. They were nice enough to put a $30 price tag on it when it, MSRP on it $75. So usually, if nothing, I'm not like a gigantic fan of this Azarello story, but the Jim Lee art in this Absolute edition, Alex Ross Absolute edition, Jim Lee is just worth it alone for the art. So definitely happy to add that to the collection. And then let me see. I think I got a little bit on the bottom here that I read and just some pickups. Let's go back to the chat real quick. Chris Barrett says, did anyone watching the Rewind or live remember to check out Friday's 212 show on the Comic Core? Oh, yeah, that's right. We're supposed to be plugging up the big Friday show coming up. So definitely check out that. And then, like I said, check out next Saturday as well on the 20th for this awesome auction / claim sale / whatever Drew and Legend are going to make it out to be. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. For some reason, he's also talking about Gold Dust and Alien Speaking English. Comic Man Andy loves that third print of Last Ronin. Absolutely. I know he already has who knows how many copies of that in his collection, but I know Andy's going after the full run as well. And then Chris Barrett says, DC making Harley wear clouds. All right, here's the other Wonder Woman book I was talking about. This is just regular Wonder Woman, the Joelle Jones one, with Yara Flor, which I think they're going to reintroduce her in a Wonder Girl book. So I guess that's pre-Future State. You kind of find out the relationship between her and her sister a little bit more, which in this book, she's just trying to rescue her sister from hell, basically, which that's why it's kind of funny that, Shazam has hell in it. This had purgatory in it. This had hell. Make up your mind what hell is, DC. You can't have 10 different hells. Come on. That's probably the biggest nitpick. There doesn't, I know there's supposed to be different multiverses and the possibilities are endless in this stuff, but have a little bit of consistency. Come on. If consistency goes out the window, then just nothing matters anyway. But anyway, like I said, subpar to lower par story. But this art is absolutely gorgeous. If nothing else, at least just pick this book up for the art. And hey, you got a Jenny Frison B cover on it. Yara Fuller looks absolutely gorgeous on the cover and in the book because of Joelle Jones, Jordi Belair. But yeah, at the very least, it's a pretty book. So it's fun to flip through, if nothing else. The story, unfortunately, though, is just not that great. Swamp Thing, I enjoyed the first issue. The second issue was not too bad, except, I don't know. I think the indie just fell a little bit flat. I still really like the Mike Perkins art in this. I'm really excited to see the actual Swamp Thing #1 coming out of all this because they're keeping the same creative team of Ron B and Mike Perkins, which I think is going to be a great team if they're given time. But I don't know. This kind of ends with Swamp Thing giving up not only himself, but all of his new creatures he's created to inhabit Earth to save humanity, which sounds great on paper, but at the same time, they kind of talk about this idea of having a soul, and do these plants have souls and that stuff? For instance, is like Alec Holland way back when, or not Alec Holland, I guess, however you want to look at it. Did he not have a soul when he became Swamp Thing from the essence of Alec Holland? Because you have these other creatures, like this new creature Indigo, who basically he just hates humans and that stuff. So you don't mind seeing him go, but Swamp Thing basically does have two daughters who are pretty emotional about the whole situation as well. They definitely have feelings and ideas, and apparently now this book is telling you they don't have a soul, and now they're just gone anyway. So I don't know. I thought it was kind of a little bit of a flat ending, but hopefully we'll see some of those characters come back, and I hope they weren't just for Future State to get killed off in 2 issues, because they were starting to get a little bit interesting, to be honest. The absolute dud, worst Future State book by far, The Flash, issue #2. Well, I would say 1 and 2. They both suck. But the art is not that great. Of course, the Carrie Andrews cover, it's not too bad, but Flash still looks goofy as hell on this. But if you think he looks bad, let's just go ahead and crack this open. I need to show you guys this. I mean, this kind of has to be seen to be believed. So as you can kind of see, kind of looks cool. Flash is assembling like all these other, weapons that his rogues have used, because he has to fight like the Black Racer / Wally West. So he has no other allies left. They have all been wiped out by Wally West. So he is a symbol. It's kind of like, what was it? Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, where the Dream Child has to assemble like all of the good characteristics from her dead friends to fight Freddy Krueger. That's exactly what Barry Allen's doing here. So all of his dead friends, he's assembling like all these powers. So remember how this cover looks. We're going to flip to how he actually looks in the book. So by the time he is having to finally buck up and fight Wally, a lot of time has passed. He actually has a white beard. He's older, even though Wally looks the same. Like I said, they don't give you a great idea of the timeline that's passed here. But here's what he actually looks like in the book. So, like, why didn't they just stick with that? Come on. So, yeah, and then I don't know. Oh, and then he gives up his life to save Wally. So it's kind of an ambiguous ending. But who finds the flash ring? Someone from another bad book. Beast is at the end of this. So, like, how do you make one book worse, add another character from a bad book, and just sprinkle crap everywhere, basically? So my least two favorite books in Future State have been Flash and Teen Titans. And apparently they intersect now. So I guess, yeah, if you're going to have two bad books, you may as well have two bad books together at the same time. I don't know, but I was not a fan of this book, and I don't recommend it. All right, so some other pickups I had besides just the reads. My comic shop, unfortunately, like I said, I didn't get my Jenica last week, and I think there was a bunch of other stuff. Kind of as an apology to the subscribers, my comic shop had a half-off vintage comic sale and bundles and everything. So I was like, yeah, I'll take full advantage of that. It was for one day only. I really wasn't missing any books I cared about, but hey, half off, I'll take advantage of that. So I got a whole stack of Avengers that were $12 an issue. Now I got them for $6 an issue. So I got Avengers number 32, which, hey, $6 Avengers Silver Age. Yeah, I'll take that all day. There's issue number 33. I'm slowly building this pre-100 Avengers is issue 38 with Hercules on there. Another Hercules issue for 39. Issue number 41. And then the last one I picked up was issue number 42. So $6 a pop on those. I'll take that all day. And then I decided to go ahead and get this bundle here. It was priced at $20, but based on the one book on it, everyone's looking for this particular book. I got this bundle for $10, and obviously the one book's going to pay for this whole bundle. But that is, the Jim Lee, Chris Claremont X-Men, which these things are pretty minty fresh, honestly. Like, there's not like too many imperfections on these. And actually, I think I was looking for an issue 5. So, of course, you have to have issue 1, which I don't know how many. Actually, I may be back down to just my signed copy and this copy in my hand. So I may actually hang on to most of these because I think I've either given them away or I have signatures on them, so I don't have any like unsigned books. So sometimes if I have a signed book, I'll keep an unsigned copy of that. So if I ever want to read it again, I can keep my signed one bagged in a Mylar. But yeah, there's an X-Men 1, Gatefold, of course. X-Men 2, which this might be my only unsigned copy. I have a Jim Lee signed copy in the boxes back there. And issue number 3, which I think I have plenty of these, so I might just be throwing this. Like if someone buys something from me in a claim sale, I may just go ahead and put this in someone's priority box if I don't need it. Of course, the money book that for whatever reason it's a money book. Omega Red, first appearance, issue number 4. Yeah, like I said, $10 for all 5 of these with this in it. And this, and like, I don't think there's a single tick or anything on this at all. And I figured why not roll the dice and see if this was another newsstand copy. Because, when people are looking for this book, they're kind of looking for that newsstand barcode as well. But it was just a direct edition. But for direct edition, well, of course, it should be better for a direct edition. But yeah, this thing is probably a 9.8. I don't pride myself on grading or anything. But I would probably almost just go ahead and maybe send this off if I was going to do some grading, which maybe after this Corona stuff's over, I may start doing a little bit of grading because there's a few random things in my collection I do want to get graded that people wouldn't normally think about getting graded. Like Nintendo Power #1's the book I'm thinking of, basically. I actually looked at some Nintendo Powers that were graded CGC wise online, and there's like, at least on eBay, sold listings and even just plain listings, there's not a lot of options for Nintendo Power, but when the listings do hit, they hit big. So it's just like, I thought it was a nice little trophy in the collection. It'd be fun to have an issue 1 CGC graded. So I may cave and do that at some point. Maybe send a couple other books like this with that. I still have a few others like Detective Comics 880. I actually kept that unsigned by Snyder and Jock when I met them, because I've been kind of thinking about getting that, because I think it can come back in 9.4 or 9.6. And then, oh, by the way, I'm rambling, I did have issue 5 as well. So yeah, nice little bundle of X-Men books there for $10. I know Andy loves him some Omega Red, X-Men #4. And then Chris Barrett says, well, there are 8 million copies of Jim Lee X-Men #1. There sure are. And yeah, Chris, I think I might be just going after the first 100 Avengers. Like, some of the antique shops, I tend to shop like once a month. Sometimes I can catch those early Avengers for like $3 to $5 based on condition. So it's just, sometimes I just like, why not? They're there. It never hurts to collect some Silver Age for $3 to $5. All right, so I feel like I got more in this auction, but I probably either already talked about it or filed it with something else and then showed that something else. But I did get one Turtles lot, which I do think I have 2, maybe 3 more eBay Turtles lots coming. So the next time you see me on the Tuesday night live stream, probably gonna be showing more Turtles eBay purchases, because all of a sudden, like, I don't know if it's just this last week or two, people are actually taking these low ball offers kind of seriously. So I do have a couple books that I have coming. I'm probably just honestly gonna move forward to somebody else, because like, there's another book I want in that lot, but then there's a money book in that lot. So it's kind of hard to explain right now, but there may be a few more books besides what's over there in the Mirage $5 turtle box that I'm going to be moving, including in this stack in my hand. But I did want to get this lot because this has TMNT Animated Adventures issue #2. This is the mini series issue 2 in a newsstand. I guess, hey, let's give you guys one bumper tonight. Of course, I don't have it queued up at all. Let's try this again. TMNT Adventures issue #2. Newsstand. There you go. I'll give you guys that one. But anyway, the reason I really wanted this book is I had this poster on my wall as a kid. It came out of a Turtles magazine they just sold in school in the library. And I had this poster. It's probably still hanging in my parents' house, actually. This poster I had as a kid. But I just never had the comic to go along with it. And I kept telling myself, like, oh, I'll get it at a dollar bin or something. But now all of a sudden, like, this thing has been like rocket strapped to the issue 1 of the miniseries, which is your first Bebop, Rocksteady, and Krang, which there's a copy in that box over there. Spoilers if anyone's looking for it. But because that's been rocket strapped to that comic, this not being a key at all, it's still going up just because it's usually sold with that or not at all. So I actually found a lot that did not have an issue 1 that had this issue in it, thank goodness. So I was actually able to get this for like maybe for $2 or $3, I think, which, as you can tell, just me holding it up, it's not in the greatest condition, but like I said, $2 or $3, I was willing to take that gamble and at least have a starter copy in case I ever see another one down the line in a bin somewhere for better condition. Then I'll just move that one on, because I'm trying not to collect too many doubles. But I did have the other issue 2, which I think these next couple, once again, are doubles. So newsstand issue 2, Ongoing of Adventures, issue #4. And then I think I needed this one, issue #7. And actually, I did have a Mirage first run I did need, so I can check this one off the list. This is Ninja Turtles issue #15. So definitely always happy to cross off another TMNT Volume 1, because I think, I had a 2021 list. I think I did it on Modern Men. I think I'm just going to scrap that and only go after the Mirage Turtles, because I'm having so much fun just trying to collect and piece together this run. Even though in the world of 2021 it is not fun to be a turtle collector, because they're hard to find cheap, but I'm trying to throw all these best offers in where I can. We got Flicks and Comics. What is going on, JoJo? Nice to see you in the chat. Kind of glad you hopped in now because I'm getting ready to show a couple figures. So if you guys watched, the Friday night show on the Comic Core, we had a lot of fun just talking about action figures and that stuff. And Mr. Gretzky just hopped in the chat. What's going on, man? It's going to kind of be a little bit of a rerun for you because I'm going to talk about some of the action figures I collected last week. And I've basically been watching the Figure Wrestling podcast. Matt Cardone, aka formerly known as Zack Ryder, and Brian Myers, used to be Kurt Hawkins. They have a phenomenal toy podcast on the YouTube. Like, you kind of think, they're just the wrestlers, it's a gimmick, but they actually give you some really great information on wrestling figures and that stuff. But they also collect stuff like this Turtles figure. So I found this Wrath of Krang figure in a Target. It was buried behind another something on an end cap. I'm pretty sure this was not meant to be where it was at on a shelf. But this thing is absolutely gorgeous. I just love Baby Shredder hiding up there as part of the packaging and all the other like little extras that they threw in there as a part of this. And I actually do have the little Rider Krang thing. So they show like the Krang walker on the back, even though it says sold separately. Luckily, I do already have that in the collection. But yeah, this says it's part volume 2. So there's a metalhead that's part 1. So I'm definitely gonna have to hunt that one down now. But I kind of hope, I guess these are based on like Turtle episodes specifically. So I really like this idea of them doing, in a release like this. So I hope to see more cool ones like this down the line. Yeah, Chad from the Comic Core keeps wanting me to unbox it. I just don't know what I do with all of the extra little parts. They would just end up everywhere, I feel like. But yeah, one of my favorite toys as a kid. NECA has done a phenomenal job recreating that for now. And then I managed to find some AEW action figures in Target. These things are almost ghosts right now in the wild. There's some really bad distribution problems around the AEW figures, but as you can see, they are beautiful action figures. There's a ton of detail in each of these action figures. So I found Pentagon Jr. and MJF. So they're slowly getting me back in wrestling action figure collecting as well. I'm still on the lookout for Orange Cassidy, for Mark and Catrin over there on the Comic Core as well. But I definitely kind of want to get a John Moxley now because, of course, he comes with a belt. And, probably got to get a Cody and the whole Bullet Club at this point. So, yeah, really been into action figures these last, couple weeks. And then I'll just show you guys. As you notice, well, of course, I'm turning the wrong way. As you notice behind me, had a little bit of fun with the action figures I cleaned up about a couple months ago. Just because, trying to resist the temptation, unbox these and have a nice shelf display with them in the box, I decided to finally take these out and, get them displayed basically. So here are the Turtle figures I had as a kid. Of course, this isn't all of them. These are just the ones I've cleaned up or are not completely broken. So, and I'm trying to keep one of each character on my shelf. So as you can see, there's one of each Turtle basically. And for some reason, I did not have the movie Donatello still. I still need to find my movie Donnie. So I replaced them with Star Trek Spock Donatello for now. But I think the movie ones were always my favorite as a kid, just because the amount of detail they poured into there. And I had to sell for the green April O'Neil because that's the one that came with the blue Turtle van. I think she was a pack in there. Because the other April O'Neil, I have the first run April. She will just not stand on her own 2 feet whatsoever. Whereas the green one stands up really well. But yeah, there's a whole bevy, Super Shredder's buried back there. There's a whole bunch. Rat King's in the back. Leatherhead's in there somewhere. I need to clean up my old Bebop. I have Superhero Bebop, which I may keep in there, actually. I kind of like that actual Bebop right there. And then Krang and his walker. So you kind of see him. I tried to clean up his little clear shield as best I could. But yeah, that thing's got some age on it. Let me go ahead and show the next pick I took of this stuff here. So in the middle, I have my little superhero selection. For some reason, I just went toward Turtles and wrestling, as you'll see. So in the middle, I just kind of had a superheroes in the very back there. I have the movie properties, Jurassic Park characters back there, Alan Grant is back there. Boba Fett, Luke Skywalker's in there somewhere. The real Ghostbusters, I think I have 2 Peter Venkmans just because like I didn't have more than that. So I was like, I'll put 2 Venkmans out. There is that Storm and then the Batman that I just unboxed on Friday's Comic Core show. I had threw them on the shelf as well. But had to put old Tim Drake Robin right in front because his cape looked really cool. And that was definitely one of my figures as a kid. And then I put the Michael Keaton Bruce Wayne that came with the Batcave next to him too. So that's why you don't see another Batman. I just always like that one. And then the last one, I'll show some wrestlers. So what's going on? Howler Mouse says, "Oh geez, I tuned in. I thought I was seeing pics of a flea market table in '96." Yeah, it's pretty close actually. So Gretzky was asking about Sting. There's no Sting in the AEW wrestling line yet. However, I do have the WCW Mattel Sting with the championship belt on the corner there. And for some reason, I have all of the DX figures. I've never been a big, huge D-Generation X fan. So they're kind of the jobbers here, like X-Pac's eating a spear, Road Dogg's getting the mandible claw from Mankind there. Triple H is getting an angle slam back there. And I think Billy Gunn's getting an Undertaker choke slam. And then, of course, Rock's got to be taking the stunner because he sells it the best. So, yeah, I had a day off, and that's what I did because that's my life. So, yeah, I've been on the hunt for some action figures. But, yeah, another thing, I actually went to Walmart today to look for some figures. Fortunately, I came up dry. Walmart shelves are deplorable right now. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with their toys. The distribution problems. I really need that, figure wrestling podcast shirt, I guess, to wear to Walmart as I go. However, I did find a couple things while I was in Wally World. I found a couple Marvel mystery packs. So I found this cool Black Widow. Looks like Adam Hughes there. I'm assuming even though it doesn't have the trademark on the cover, maybe it's just behind the sticker. That definitely looks like some Adam Hughes goodness to me. And then this Donny Cates Thor. I know people love them, some Donny Cates. So I'm not sure if these are like Walmart exclusive covers or not. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But I figured, hey, I don't have either of them in the collection currently, regardless. So I figured, hey, why not go ahead, show you guys what's in these things, and then see if you guys like it or not, or see if I like it, or maybe they'll just be add-ons to the claim sale boxes at some point. Before I unbox this first one, I do want to say hi to a couple people in the chat. Howler Mouse says DX's jobber is exactly how it should have been. And we got Comic Bag Musings. What's going on, man? Thanks for hopping in the chat tonight. Of course. Oh yeah, good. I do have my trusty tiny little knife here that I can use. So we'll do the Thor one first here. Let's see what is in this Thor little mystery pack. I think these are like $8.98 at Walmart. They're usually carried in that little area next to self-check, which is, at least around here, it's near impossible to shop because they have that self-check open and they want you to social distance, obviously, because it's the year 2021. So, yeah, it's like I actually went there and didn't see anybody in line, so I was actually able to shop that for the first time in I don't know how long. Oh, I see a lenticular. Oh, boy, a Marvel and lenticular. This is going to go well. And, of course, I can already tell there's a pressable defect, but, yeah, who cares? There's Thor issue 1, of course, which I think this was a $5 book when it came out. Yeah, it's a $5 book. So it's a $9 pack, but they're giving you a $5 book that just came out not too long ago, and I guess it was cover number 4 or core. It says the barcode ends in 143, whatever that means. So, and then the oh god, I was trying to get rid of all these Avengers No Surrenders. So here's Avengers No Surrender cover 6. Okay. So this is a variant cover to Avengers No Surrender. So it looks like it might be some sort of connecting cover. But yeah, if you guys have been keeping track of Modern Men, I was not a huge fan of Avengers No Surrenders. Actually, I think I was going to get rid of all the No Surrender stuff, except for one issue cover I had signed. So yeah, that's probably getting moved. And then looks like, Wonderful Marvel lenticulars. You guys remember how bad these were. It looks like all new Wolverine 25, if I remember right, which I think I technically already own this. So yeah, I may keep the Thor, but these other 2 books will probably go in that dollar bin over there at least, or maybe a $2. I don't know. But yeah, not too bad for $9. Like I said, I mean, they were all originally priced at $5. So I guess you get $15 of books cover for $9 at Walmart. So let's see what's in pack number 2 here. Like I said, this is the looks like Adam Hughes Black Widow cover, which I think he did a couple of these. I just don't know if the one that he did that originally came out had this like red and dark blue motif. It kind of looks like the New York Giants colors. Yeah, so this says ends in 124. So there's that. And it's supposed to be legacy number 41. So there is the back barcode if anyone has any questions about that. No lenticular here, thank goodness. We got a Phil Noto Symbiote Spider-Man Alien Reality Gwen Stacy variant. Boy, that is a mouthful. So there's that. You always got a little Phil Noto, with a cool, just Peter and Gwen moment there. So that is kind of a cool cover. Not too bad. And then the last one, I may already have this one too. This is a Powers of 10, or was it Power? Yeah, it was Powers of 10, not House of X Powers of 10. Issue number 6, variant cover. This was allegedly cover number 9 for issue 6. Come on, Marvel. That's just too much. It says Foreshadowing Variant Edition. Okay, there you go. And this was a $5.99 issue. So, hey, I guess you get your money's worth there. So this was probably like a $4 book. And I think this one was a $4 book as well. So if you guys are bean counters at home, you do get your $8.98's worth of comic books in there, so at least. So pretty cool. It's not too bad. I'll probably at least keep the main 2 covers, and might keep that Phil Noto. That's a pretty nice looking Gwen cover. Let's be honest. Noto does some great cover art for Marvel. Other than that, I think that's all I have to show today, finally. So I wasn't expecting to go 42 minutes. Let's go ahead and do one more shout out to the chat here, see what we got going on. Chris Barrett says, so have you got to the toys yet? Yeah, you missed the toys, buddy. Sorry. I guess you'll have to rewind. And he says, I got a Elite from Mattel today. I bought an Elite that had packaging errors, so they sent me a random Elite for free. Oh, that's awesome, man, because those are like $20 figures to begin with. Not to mention the fact, when those things go out of print, it seems like the commonality is they automatically just like double in price no matter what. So cool. Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. I know you're going after that Paul Ellering Build-A-Figure with Rocco from WrestleMania. No, it was SummerSlam 92. So that's pretty awesome. And I know Howler, he loves him some Gwen too. Absolutely. So that's all I have for you today on the live stream. Maybe check out later. I've started to experiment with my PlayStation 5 and just streaming some gaming, not only on this channel, but on a Twitch channel I've been hanging on to for a while. I just synced both accounts to my PS5, and it seemed like the presentation was not too bad on, like I did like a little 30-minute tech demo basically with Uncharted 4. So if you guys like gaming, stay tuned later tonight. I'll probably do a little bit of gaming on Uncharted 4. I still need to do some Last of Us 2 New Game Plus, so you may see me play some of that as well on this channel. So yeah, definitely stop by. Let me know what you guys think of my setup, how it looks, how I sound, of course, because I've been on the headset, so I can at least see you guys pop up in the chat and actually communicate with you guys when you chat. So I have to put down the controller, pause the game, and then type on my phone or something. So definitely stop by. Let me know what you guys think. But big thank you guys for joining me for this haul and all that fun stuff. And once again, December. Oh my God, it's been a long day. I've been up since 2:30 this morning. February 20th, tune into the Comic Core channel. Drew Manchu, Great Legend, and I will be selling some books because we have a lot of stuff we need to basically. Drew Manchu used the term liquidate. That's a pretty good term because my boxes need room to breathe. I have too many doubles, too many extras. So I want to give that back to the community as much as I can. And Howard says, geez, trying to comment while cooking doesn't work out for me either. Yeah, good luck with that, man. But until next time, big thanks, guys. See you next time.